Going on, everybody? It's Key Time coming back with another one to talk about the game twos from last night. The Los Angeles Lakers, Denver Nuggets, Magic, and Cavaliers, and also the New York Knicks and the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, I want to get into the first game that we saw, Philadelphia 76ers and New York Knicks. Now, we all know that Joel Embiid, he's got a injury. So he wasn't able to go. Well, he was able to go last night. He had 34 points. But in the last few minutes, that is where the 76ers lost the game because first quarter they was leading, second quarter they was leading, and third quarter they was leading. They were keeping everybody else in check on the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson, he wasn't getting as many shots as he usually gets when it comes to playing his game. He wasn't getting as many shots. Josh Hart, he had 21 points. So, and Josh Hart, he usually averaged about 13 to about 14 points per game throughout the regular season. So, for him to have at least 20 is a big step up from what he was doing in the regular season. And Jalen Brunson had 24 points. But what happened in the last 2 minutes, it shouldn't have happened. You got a you got a you got a 5 point lead. Kyle Lowry gets fouled. He makes one and then misses the second one. And then the New York Knicks go down and score a three point basket that was basically off of a lucky bounce from Jalen Brunson. Then after that, the Philadelphia 76ers got a rebound, but DiVincenzo, he stole it and got it back for the New York Knicks. Shot a three, missed it. New York Knicks got the ball back, shot another three, and DiVincenzo made it. When it comes to plays like that in games that are so tight, that could really turn the series in the New York Knicks' favor. Now, can the Philadelphia 76ers come back and win game 3 and 4 at home? I think so, but it's going to take a Herculean effort from I'm going to say this. Tyrese Maxey, he had an astounding game. Coming into last night's game, he was a little iffy with his illness, but he balled out. Now, as far as Tobias Harris and Kelly Oubre, the two players that I was talking about the most yesterday, they didn't show up. Tobias Harris, he only had 10 points, and Kelly Oubre only had 4 points. If both of those guys had 15 points each, the 76ers win last night's game. So, when it comes to the New York Knicks, I got them winning this series, and I still think that they'll win this series in 5 games. For the Philadelphia 76ers, they bench got to do better. Because Nicholas Batum, he only had 6 points. They bench just got to do better. Buddy Hield, he only had 2, and Paul Reed only had 2 points. The starters, they are okay. The starters are the driving force for your teams. The 76ers bench needs to produce because everything else, defense is okay and offense is okay, but the bench has got to produce. All in all, that's what I got from the 76ers and New York Knicks game 2 last night. Now the next series I want to talk about is the Orlando Magic and Cleveland Cavaliers. This is basically a defensive series, and Orlando, they are a young and upcoming team. So I was I was thinking that Orlando would be able to match the energy of the Cleveland Cavaliers, but as in game one, it happened again last night. The Cavs were up by as many as 18 points in the game and just really took the game to another level. Over they made over they made over 10 threes. To be exact, they made 12. And also Donovan Mitchell, he had 23 points. He had a decent game. It was an okay game, but the bench really stepped up for the Cavaliers last night. And as far as the Orlando Magic, we got Pablo Banchero. He had 21 points. Franz Wagner had 18 points. Gary Harris had 14. Mortis Wagner had 12. So the Orlando Magic, they always let the game, these two games that they've played against the Cavaliers, early they've let the game get out of hand. And then in the fourth quarter, they start getting a little bit closer and a little bit closer and a little bit closer. But you need somebody on the defensive side of the court to get you some stops, because you can't let the game get out of hand in the first and second quarter, in the first half, and think you're going to come back and win in the second half. So for the Orlando Magic, game 3 is on their home court. Game 3 and 4 is on their home court. Can they even up the series? Maybe, maybe not. We just going to have to wait and see. But as of right now, look like the Cleveland Cavaliers are about to sweep the Orlando Magic. But like I said, from game to game, it'll always be something different in a 7-game series. And that's all I got for the Orlando Magic and Cleveland Cavaliers series. Now, the next series I want to talk about is the Los Angeles Lakers and Denver Nuggets. I looked at this whole game. The Lakers, they had this game in the grasp. They really did. They were up by 15 in the second quarter. Well, at halftime, they were up by 15 at halftime, and they got up to 22 1 point in the third quarter. And then all of a sudden, it just seems like they went away from Anthony Davis, and they had a whole bunch of defensive lapses and turnovers that lost them the game. But what really lost them the game was they went away from what they did to get that 15-point lead and then run it up to 22. So I noticed that in the third quarter, I started to see when they were up by 22, I was saying to myself, I'm like, can the Lakers hold this lead? Because we've seen the Lakers throughout the game. They could be up 1 minute, then 10 minutes later, they could be down by 15. So it's a role reversal. It was really a role reversal. But all of a sudden, they started turning the ball over. They just kept jacking up 3 after 3 after 3. And another thing, the pick and roll plays that they had, they were bread and butter last night. Anthony Davis, he had 32 points last night. D'Angelo Russell, he had 23 points, and LeBron had 26. But when it comes to, they went away from the pick and roll, that's what really hurt them. When you go away from something that is going so great and so well, I mean, you got Anthony Davis down low. Throw the ball into Anthony Davis. Let him get the basket and get fouled. But one thing, they got 3-point happy because D'Angelo Russell, he was 7 of 9 from the 3-point line. So they got 3-point happy. And all of a sudden, they started jacking up threes. And also, in the fourth quarter, when it was money time, they wasn't able to get any foul calls going their way, because we all know that the Lakers, one thing about the Lakers, they like to slow the game down and they like to get foul calls. If they don't get foul calls, then the game gets out of hand and they have no way of getting back into the game. But in the last, I would say, with about 2 minutes in the fourth quarter, 2:15 right in there, they had the lead and they called the timeout. Now, if I was Darvin Ham, I would have told all of my players, do not try any threes. Go to the basket and get fouled, because up to that point, they had missed 6 or 7 threes right there. Not to mention that 7 trips down the floor, Anthony Davis didn't even touch the ball. So, one thing about that, and plus another thing, Rui Hachimura, he was not here in this game because he only had 3 points. Like, he only had 3 points and he had 5 shots. So, Rui Hachimura, I know he is out there for shooting and size, but when it's not there for him, Darvin Ham needs to take him out, because he was not a shooting threat last night. He made 1 shot and then after that, you didn't hear no more from him. But basically what the Lakers did last night, coaching lost them this game. And I'm not even going to blame coaching. When under 15 seconds left, this was make or break right here. LeBron, he has the ball, and you can see the clock under 15 seconds. Why don't you take all of that time off the clock, and then when it gets down to the last 2 or 3 seconds, then make the shot? Don't settle for a wide open 3. And as I said, he missed the wide open 3. So that's why I said they didn't lose this game off of just that missed 3 by LeBron. They lost the game well before. You cannot let a team, especially the defending champions, you cannot let them come back from a 22-point lead. You got them down by 22. You need to go on. They should have just went on ahead and said, okay, let's increase this to 30. Let's increase this to 35. That's what they should have did. They should have packed the paint in like they've been doing with that pick and roll. Pack the paint in, get it down to AD, and let AD ball out, because LeBron played a good game. Then Anthony Davis played a good game. D'Angelo Russell played a good game. And you still lost this game. Why? Because of coaching and play calling and scheming up things. And schematically, you lost this game because of illegitimate coaching. Because all of a sudden, LeBron, I know one thing. LeBron wanted to put his imprint on this game, and also he wanted to bring it home. He wanted to bring it home for the Lakers. But when you have AD putting up the type of numbers that he put up, you don't need to mess with that. Yeah, at the end of the game, they might put the ball in your hands and you might have to go to the free throw line and finish the game. But with that 22-point lead, you shouldn't have lost it. What they need to do in game 3, if they get up by 15, 20 points, they need to keep it like that, because it seemed like after about 2 or 3 missed shots, and Denver gets the ball back and make about 3-4 shots consecutively, all of a sudden, what was a 22-point lead or a 15-point lead, all of a sudden is down to 7 or 6. So what the Lakers got to do, they have got to improve turnovers. I keep on emphasizing turnovers. Turnovers and defensive lapses will make you lose a series like this to a team like the Denver Nuggets that are schematically like overpowering and also defensively and offensively overpowering at times. So that's all I got from this game. And with that, those are my reactions from the game twos of last night between the Los Angeles Lakers, Denver Nuggets, Orlando Magic, Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Philadelphia 76ers and New York Knicks. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Click the notification bell to get notified of all my reaction videos and content. And remember, the key is always on time.